Hello everyone, I am the Steam Diver and today we'll be looking at a game called Peacebringer. This is an action roguelike bullet hell game, similar to games such as Vampire Survivors, that has almost no recognition on Steam. And as always, today we're going to be looking at whether the game is good and just got unlucky or if it's just complete garbage. So as you can see, we are immediately jumping in right here. At the start, the game asked me to pick one of 3 characters, out of which I chose the knight. Seems to be kind of like the melee option. And well, as you can see, we're just right in. As usual in these games, you're just being kind of swarmed by these low-level weak enemies, and then I'm collecting their like crystals, or similar to Vampire Survivors, I guess. And now every once in a while, it asks me to level up. And I will just keep doing the sword here because sword seems to be damage, and that's going to be good for the sake of me not having to take 10 minutes to kill each enemy later on, hopefully. As usual, I have absolutely no idea how good this game is. It has only 2 reviews on Steam, both of which are negative, which usually is indicative of maybe more on the trash side than the treasure side, but well, I am obliged to give it a fair chance and see if the game is worth playing anything. So far, even the music kind of sounds like elevator music. Wouldn't say it's a laugh riot or anything like that so far, but well, maybe just starts a bit slow, we'll see. I do seem to have, there seem to be 10 waves from what I see at the top part of the screen. Also, I can heal, get gold. Here I guess I'll just keep going for the sword. Maxing out the sword seems to be good so far because I just made it so fast that these first level bats can't really do shit to me. But yes, I do know from reading the very brief description that this game had on Steam that this kind of has this unique aspect compared to some other soul survival games maybe, that you can have multiple characters active at the same time. So I assume somehow later on, maybe in the run or with permanent progression. Oh, getting destroyed by this elite. Yeah, I'm being obliterated. I'm not entirely sure what to do about it. Aha, I think, okay, I think I killed it. Yeah, I am very low health though, so I will heal the party. Actually seemed to heal me quite a lot. I think I also maxed out the sword, which now I am seeing why going just full damage might not be the best idea, because some of the enemies with this melee character just kind of rush me down and I don't really have the defense to deal with them. As it is per usual with these games, I don't really control how I attack. The character kind of automatically does that by himself, or by themselves, I guess. So you see, oh, the game is running surprisingly poorly. Only getting it up to like 30 FPS, which I mean, my computer is not the best, but it is, I would say, at least average for a game on PC. I don't know. Yep, I'm not sure if my character only attacks them if he's looking at them or if they're just close enough. I think it's proximity based. Not entirely sure. So far, this really seems to be just a downgrade of Vampire Survivors, but I mean, the graphics are nice. I kind of like the 3D. At least it looks 3D. I don't know if it's real 3D or fake 3D. Like some of the older 3D games, but it looks quite 3D, so I personally appreciate that. Has some depth of, how do you say that, view distance blur, I guess. Not depth of field blur, but like view distance blur, which is kind of annoying to me, but other than that, oh, I don't seem to have a map. Other than that, the graphics are quite nice. Yeah, so far I'm just kind of going around collecting these chests. I got to Resurrection, which I assume is just like a Dead Defiance effect. If you've played some of these games, you'll probably know that. What that means, rather. Maybe I should start upgrading my shield a bit. I've been healing for a while now, and I think upgrading the shield might be a good idea. Yeah, I don't know, recently I've been kind of struggling to find good games. It's like, I mean, that's, I guess, the point of this channel, but I feel like the ones that have been coming out specifically in the last maybe month, the games have been all kind of really underwhelming. I mean, there have been some gems recently, I guess. I know that this game called Schedule 1 recently blew up. Personally haven't really played it, but I don't know, maybe I should maybe if I want to play fun games I should try going for something more popular, but I mean, what's the point of me doing that when 10 million other people have already done it, right? You know, I am pretty quite sure that I might be the first person to be playing this game, like in general, let alone on a YouTube channel. But yeah, so far not much to talk about. I think that the only weapon that my character has is the sword. So like, so far it doesn't seem to be like any evolutions or other
skeletal cats.
Skeletal cats, my character just called out. He was not lying, there does seem to be a skeletal cat running in my direction. Yeah, so far, does just seem to be a pretty sleeper walking and slashing game. Guess these genres run a bit dry about now. Guess this happens every time like a new big, well, I mean small but really popular game comes out, such as Vampire Survivors, and then everyone tries to replicate it. Well, some are good. I've talked about this in previous videos on this channel if anyone has seen these, but there were some good ones like 20 Minutes Till Dawn, of which I can remember. What else? I mean, yeah, Vampire Survivors, like obviously the biggest one. Even I think League of Legends released kind of like a separate game mode which resembled it at some point. Yeah,
Spiders.
From the leftovers of these games, you're kind of always left with the thousands of others who tried, but inevitably kind of just made like a game which isn't really that fun to play. I seem to have encountered a new form of enemy, as my character generically, I believe in an AI generated voice, although I'm not sure, I cannot really make that accusation, but some of the art in this game and the voices does seem to be AI. I'm not sure if that's the case, but if it is, I mean, I myself have my own opinions on that, but I would leave it to the people who are watching this to potentially decide whether... Oh, I got a new ability. Whenever you block, you can stun. Sure, why not? Doesn't seem to be all that exciting, but yeah, I don't know how... well, I think I just resurrected. Yeah, I just used my resurrection. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I mean, I would leave it up to you. I know there are some people with quite strong opinions for and against AI, like usage in general, and let alone AI art. I think is probably one of the most controversial fields. Regardless of, oh, I think I got slow now, about to be, yeah, I think I survived. regardless of how you feel about it. I mean, if it looks bad, it's just bad, I guess. Also, the game does not have any ambient sound. I have not turned down the music due to copyright or anything. It's just that is the soundtrack of the game. It's just kind of like these forest noises, which, I mean, I don't know if I am the only person who thinks this, but usually this type of games, I like to call them Soul Survivor, but not really even sure if that's their correct naming, but this type of like kind of 2D like action, or in this case 3D action bullet hell game, I guess, they usually have really fire soundtracks. I mean, especially, like, specifically Vampire Survivors has an incredible soundtrack. Killing enemies while I have the power up. That was a really bad idea. Okay, I am dead. Yeah, I mean, that was one run of the game. That's how the menu looks like, by the way. Let's do another one. So as you can see, there are, wait, can I power up? I think here, this is the permanent progression, I believe. The permanent progression menu of the game. It seems that gold is not only the currency to unlock abilities for the characters, but also to buy permanent upgrades, which I actually did not know, but hey, now we know. Let's see, here is how the character menu looks like. Let's try, I guess, the archer. I picked the knight because it looked like the most bread and butter character.
With this bow, I could thread a needle at 100 paces.
Good to know, Aiden, you will have to be doing that. But yeah, let's see. I'll give the game another shot. After all, there does seem to have a lot of maps as well. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm already getting rushed. I'm slowing them down. For now, just get ball, but yeah, I mean, really not that much talk. That's it's kind of unfortunate. I personally had quite decent expectations for this game just because of its soundtrack. I am kind of this type of person. I don't know if anyone can share that, where you just kind of see a game that looks good, looks visually pleasing, and I specifically by this refer to the kind of like the nice 3D landscape that they have made. I just see that and I go, oh well, this is probably a good game. But then, well, I mean, sometimes it is a bit disappointing. I really don't know. I think I'm already getting cooked. The archer character is quite bad compared to the knight, at least. But yeah, I kind of feel like, well, I mean, it does have 2 negative reviews, which is probably already a good indicator. I don't know, some... Oh, I already got cooked. Okay, that was quite embarrassing. Well, then, since this was a 2-minute run, we might as well try out the third character as well, Druid, to really see all of the... I mean, there seem to be a lot of characters as well. Let's see what the Druid does. I'm not really sure how you unlock them.
Myself, I'm consulting with the local flora.
Rats.
My dude, I didn't even look at his name, but whatever this character's name is, he just said he likes talking to plants.
Yeah.
So this is the summoner character. Personalized parties increase their armor rating.
You don't care.
I mean, I must say, even though for some reason I really don't get that. If you're gonna make like a mechanic, right, that's like you can have multiple party members and I assume upgrade all of them, which is kind of like what would make this game like unique in a way. Why would you not make it like unlocked from the very start, right? This seems to me such a weird decision to gatekeep that, like your basically selling point, like the main selling point of this game that I saw on Steam was exactly this, that you have like a party of heroes that kind of like all have to like benefit each other. And I assume there are gonna be some synergies, even though at this point I kind of doubt that this is the case. It might just be like that you get all of their like basic attacks, but I mean, you do have like a selling point, right? Like you thought of this, you're like, what if you could make like a like a team builder Vampire Survivors, right? And then you don't include it as a starting feature. This just seems like really counterintuitive. I don't know why would you do this. This is like some really optimistic assumption that anyone would would stick around to play kind of like a subpar Vampire Survivors for long enough. Because this game also costed money. Like it was let's unlock Arboreal Bulwark. This game was like I think 2 or 3 euros, like something like that. It's not like really expensive, but you expect people to buy the game and then also just play kind of like a pretty linear and unexciting, I guess, game for a while until they unlock your key feature for like it was like 10,000 gold if I saw correctly in the power-up shop. It's kind of like that's what, like 10 runs or something. I mean, even if I got a gold consistently and didn't spend it on like the armor, like, that could be like as well as like 20 runs. So that's like a few literal hours of game time before you even get to the main like gimmick of the game. I don't know like why you would do this. It's kind of actually not gonna lie, this kind of pisses me off when I see like game developers do it, and here like I'm gonna be kind of talking out of my ass because well I am not a game developer, honestly. I have absolutely no idea how to make video games, but okay, you're making a game, right? And then like what is going through your head? Like if you don't make it as a joke, which by the way some of these games that I play on this channel unironically might be, but assuming that this, for instance, game wasn't made as a joke and it was genuinely made as an attempt to like become like a successful game developer, like do you really look at like a game with like no like weapons and like no real like progression system other than just like statistical improvements and no like evolution? Because I think for instance what made Vampire Survivors fun was, well, I think 2 things. First, it was like a new concept and like it just so happened to be fun. Like the guy who made it, or the person who made it, actually I'm not sure who made Vampire Survivors, but whoever made it kind of like struck gold on a fun concept. And then they also put that cool mechanic with the weapon evolutions, right? Like this, at least for me, this is what made me stick. It's like you kind of have this anticipation, this curiosity that like, oh, I like this base weapon, what would happen if I evolve it, right? Like it kind of gives you this I want to see all of the evolutions now. Like you need to hide some of the things from your player, I think, just so that they are curious. I think curiosity in games is really good. If you can make your players curious, that's like great. But yeah, then you look at like this, like what you made, and then do you honestly, like, do you imagine in your head someone would sit down and like firstly give their money and secondly grind down a game that is essentially walking left and right? You don't really play, like you don't really like attack the enemies, you just walk left and right and like dodge pretty literal enemies that just run at you like linear mobs, and then expect them to do this for like 6 hours until they actually get to what you like kind of want them to anticipate. It's like, it just doesn't work like this. Like no one has the time nowadays, right? It's like people don't even stick for this long to like for like really good games. Sometimes it's like a 6-7 hour game can literally be a modern like AAA title in some cases. I mean, maybe not 6-7, but like 13-14 hours. It's like some unironically like AAA games have this amount of game time, and you expect people to just like do this for like 5 hours until they get 10,000 gold to unlock like your main mechanic. Like be real. Like, do you really think that's happening? I just sometimes don't really understand the thought process behind it. I mean, I personally suspect some of these might just be cash grabs, like bait people. I mean, not necessarily like, oh, I think I'm gonna die. I will try to get another level to heal to extend this run a bit. Yeah, okay. But yeah, you just kind of like bait people who, or many of these game developers I think do that, just bait people into accidentally kind of purchasing the game thinking this might be fun just because it looks cool, or because they're just looking for something to play, or the Steam system just got like a spasm and randomly recommended you a game. But it's like, does that really work? Like, I mean, I personally buy these games for the purpose of this channel, right? It's kind of like a hobby for me. I don't really expect them to be great games, but like, this is a risk I take. But like, if I'm gonna be buying a game for myself, because I do play games, like, as you've probably gathered about 10 times already just through this video. I do play games for myself, and I would never, like, just buy randomly a game with, like, no, how do you say, with no background, like, knowledge of it. Like, I wouldn't just look at the game. How do I phrase this? I actually don't really know how to say this. It's like, what I mean by this is, if I want to buy a game that actually costs money, I would at the very least make sure it's a real game. And if it's like not, and if I just enter it and see this, and then play this for like 30 minutes, I would just use the refund feature, my guy. Like, literally, like, Steam gives this almost unconditionally. I mean, you have to have less than 3 hours of game time, but that's really easy to achieve if the game is bad. You're really rarely gonna have more than 3 hours of game time on a really bad game, unless you just kind of made like the mistake of leaving your computer running with it in the background, in which case you can't refund it. Like, is this what these people, like the developers of these sort of games, like, rely on? Like, just people making a mistake, not being able to refund the game, or forgetting they bought it, and then more than, because I think there is also a rule of 1 week or 2 weeks. You can't refund the game after like 1 or 2 weeks. Like, do you really, is that it? Like, I'm genuinely kind of even struggling to understand at this point, like, what's the game plan? Like, how do these people make money? Because in a way, I kind of look at it through the lens of, if people are doing this, it must work at least to some extent, right? It's kind of like the mobile game ads with these insanely weird, like, animations of like gigantic monsters like peeing on each other or something like that. You've probably seen them if you've been on the internet in the last year. These absolutely like mind-bogglingly horrible mobile game ads, which have nothing to do with the actual game. They're just like really weird things that just make you go, what the fuck?
Yes, I get it.
And I mean, people kept doing them, which to me means that it must have some success, right? Because it can't just be people saw it and decided it's funny and replicated it. This takes time and money to make. Like, these animations unironically took someone's like actual resources to make. It's not like you can just snap your fingers and make like an ad. Making an ad, and you also have to even put it, like, you kind of have to pay YouTube to put it there, right? So like, you pay real money and you take real time to make these ads. Well, if they don't work, people wouldn't do them, right? So it must work to some extent. How? Who would see that and genuinely download the game? And let alone, I've heard many of these ads are baiting people into like games that oh, I think I'm gonna die to these times. Yeah, are baiting people into games that kind of require you to pay a lot of money for them. Oh, I'm dead. Pretty good run, by the way. I wasn't really talking about it, but, well, I mean, I actually had this thought to finish. But yeah, people would talk about them, and who have to pay real money in these games. I just don't get it. Like, who does that? But, well, I mean, if it is there, it must work. But yeah. All in all, let's return to the actual game here that we were playing, in case you forgot. That was Peacebringer. Well, I mean, I think I've already given you what I think about this game. If I'm going to be rating it between trash and treasure, as the title suggests, I'm definitely going to go more towards the side of trash. This was a really uninspiring 30 minutes of my life. But, oh, I mean, if you looked at this and thought to yourself, what a fun game, like, I would really like to check out the Splinter of Eternal Scent, which would increase a random attribute by a small amount, like, genuinely, go for it. I am the first person to encourage you to do so, but for me, this was not it. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. thank you very much for watching. If you reached to the end, that's really appreciated. Please consider following the channel if you like this video or the style of commentary. I upload once every 2 days. So yeah, regular content will keep coming. As for now, thank you very much for watching, and that's it.